I'm not saying you sit on your ass and do nothing. I'm saying you do the real work, the inner work that you don't really know how to do. You commit to finding a way to do it, and you don't get distracted by the shiny objects all around you on the outside. So there is real work to do, but you got to make sure you're doing it in the right place. One day you're going to have the following epiphany. After years of thinking you've been growing in some area of your life, like in your dating life or in your business life or in your fitness life, in that part of your life, you've been thinking you've really been growing for the last 5 years, and then it'll just hit you out of the blue. Like, oh shit. I've really just been rearranging my external circumstances, haven't I? There hasn't been any real growth here. It's just been rearranging external circumstances. That's all I was doing this whole time. You're going to eventually come to this point where you admit that you haven't really changed the you. You haven't changed anything inside. And you're going to come to this point where you admit to yourself that, man, maybe I don't even want to change the me. It's rare that people actually want to change the you. A commitment to changing the self is rare because it's scary, because it requires deep inner work that's difficult to do. It's abstract in its nature. It's not as concrete as the external work. And you're breaking loyalty with yourself. And that's a very counterintuitive move, is to actually decide to break loyalty with yourself as a means of getting higher in your development. But if you think about it, this is what's necessary. I mean, if we're talking about real change, substantive change that makes a real difference in your life, how can you get that without changing yourself? Do you think that's really possible? That you're going to get significant change without changing yourself? At some point, you have to buy into this idea that, man, I have to give up myself in this process. I came in with this cartoon idea that I'm just going to, tweak myself a little bit and something's really going to change in my life and I'm going to get real successful and real happy. But then you realize, no, what needs to happen is I need to just completely obliterate myself, completely transform myself to the point where there's almost nothing left of my old self. It's like you can't even recognize yourself anymore. Imagine that. Imagine 10 years from now, you wake up and you look in the mirror and you can't even imagine what it was like to be you as you are right now. That's what's actually necessary to get the kind of satisfaction and true success that you presently want out of your life. You think you can get this by not changing yourself, but you're going to realize that that won't work. And one or the other, you're going to have to give up. You're going to have to give up on the idea that you're going to be satisfied and successful in life in the really deep and fulfilling way. Or you're going to have to give up on this idea that you can preserve yourself, because you can't have both. You can't have both. Because the way you presently are is reinforcing all the stuff that you don't like about yourself. So you can't stay loyal to that and at the same time remove all the crap in your life. The two are one. All the crap in your life comes from the way that you are, not from your external surroundings. And it's going to be very tempting for you on this journey to take shortcuts, to bullshit yourself into thinking that you've grown, going for the easy stuff, the stuff you can buy, the stuff you can feel, the stuff you can see in the external world, the stuff people can praise you for. Because when you do internal work, no one praises you for this. No one really sees it. In fact, when you really do inner work, what happens is that people actually start to criticize you for it. They start calling you a hypocrite. They start calling you like, oh, you've changed. Why are you such a different person now? I can't relate to you anymore. Come back and be the old you. So the real inner growth, that's like you doing it all on your own. No one's going to do it for you. You can't buy a magic pill for it. No one's going to praise you for it. In fact, they're probably going to put you down for it. But that's the cost of true growth. I hope you have a higher vision in your mind of why this might be worthwhile doing. What would it take for you to give up yourself? What kind of vision would you need to have of your future that you would say, okay, fine, I'm willing to give up myself entirely. I don't care. I'll change everything about myself until I'm not even recognizing myself anymore in the mirror. But that's a worthwhile trade, because what I really care about is this thing here. This vision that I've got. What is that for you? Could be tied to your life purpose. Could be tied to how you want to help people in the world. Something like that. So keep all this in mind as you're growing. And keep an eye out for what kind of material you're learning and studying and purchasing. Because there's a lot of people out there that are selling you fake growth. And I'm not saying that they're evil people and that they're trying to manipulate and steal from you. I'm just saying that those people themselves are caught in this trap of fake growth. So, people get caught in this trap to such an extent they're so unconscious about it that then they create products and books and seminars and stuff to sell you fake growth. And of course, it's much easier to sell fake growth than real growth, because real growth happens on the inside. It's kind of painful. It's not very glamorous. Whereas fake growth is very glamorous. It's flashy. It's shiny. You can buy a new car with it. You can buy a new house with it. You can get a trophy girlfriend with it, this kind of stuff. So that's much easier to sell and to market to you. So watch out. Keep an eye on that. When you're listening to somebody giving you advice, or you buy a self-help book or product or something, take a look. Is that person really teaching you the root causes and solutions? Or are they teaching you fake growth? I can't believe I tricked myself like that.